Welcome back to Cape Ann. Today, I am joined by Melissa Dimond. She is the President and Executive Director of Wellspring House. How are you, Melissa?
Hey, Corey. Good morning. I'm very well. How about you?
I'm doing great. It's great to see you again. There's a lot going on with Wellspring, but let's talk about a special event we have coming up later this week when the show airs.
Absolutely. So, for the last 22 years or so, Wellspring has typically had an event in the spring. And certainly the last couple of years, 2020 and now 2021, we've had to redefine what that means. And our goal, the name of the event is called Wellspring Connects. And our goal is to create an opportunity for any number of people to connect with us. And that really means everyone. There are going to be different components for people based on where they are, what they're comfortable with. So at 12:15, middle of the day on June 3rd, there'll be a virtual presentation. And the link for that presentation will be up on our website in the next couple of days. And that virtual presentation, the goal there is to really open our doors and give people a chance to see behind the scenes and how the programs actually work, what we've been up to this last year, how Wellspring has been responding to the pandemic and helping local residents get on with their lives. We've really featured a number of staff and program participants who are going to be talking about the work. You'll actually see, career advising sessions happening in real time. And the event is as much for donors, volunteers, community leaders, and program participants, potential program participants. We hope that local people will see the video and then be encouraged to sign up for any number of our program offerings. For folks who have time and are local and want to come by, we actually are offering tours of our main campus all morning and afternoon on June 3rd. And then in the middle of the day, we have this break for the virtual video presentation. And sort of perfectly timed. When we planned this event, we didn't know for sure what was going to be happening with the guidelines and the state of emergency and things like that. So we actually have timed tours where people can sign up ahead of time. We have 10 people per time slot, and it's a chance to see the building. The house where we're located is a historic home that was built in 1649. And we actually had funding from the Amelia Peabody Trust last year to renovate the older rooms of the home. And that renovation happened in the spring. So the rooms were complete in May of last year, but nobody could benefit from seeing or being in those spaces. Right. So this is a chance now for folks to come see the home. It's pretty wonderful to see a home that is that age, that is so well preserved. Learn about the history of Wellspring, our programs, the history of our family shelter, what we're doing today, these days, and how we've really pivoted to be as responsive to local residents as possible. So anyone who hasn't been to Wellspring in a while, has never been to Wellspring, who might want to take a class at Wellspring and just get a look, folks would go to our website and sign up for a time slot.
And we'll have that link here in the caption as well, folks, if you want to sign up.
That's just, and then once we're outside, with the guidelines having changed, we'll have, beverages and a place to sit and program staff available so people can ask questions and just learn a little bit more about what we're doing. Anyone in the community has reason to be connected to us, whether they want to volunteer or serve on the board or look for a job. We are hiring for a couple positions, or take classes and be in any number of our programs. So really it's something for everyone. What we've done differently this year is there is no ticket for the event. So whereas a typical fundraising event, you'd have a ticket, you get lunch, that kind of stuff. There's no fee. It's just a registration for what time someone is coming. And we've had a number of corporate sponsors who've stepped up to offset the cost of the event so that we do not need to charge anything. And that's a new model for us. We're really excited about this idea that there's something for everyone, and we don't want there to be any barrier for people who might otherwise attend. And so anyone who wants to come should come.
Very cool. So Melissa, I want to ask, how is staff morale now that we're looking at the restrictions about to be lifted, and how does this affect in-person programming at Wellspring House?
Great, super question. I think morale is high and I think we're all tired, just be totally honest, right? So we have been working really hard for the last year and we are not the only ones, clearly. What I've learned from the last year is that change takes energy, right? And we've had lots of change all year long in rapid succession as guidelines have changed, as guidelines have become more strict or less strict. Um, and we're so excited about what's going on. We've been able to, we never closed, not for one day, and our classes are well enrolled. Our participation and attendance is good, so we're just happy that we're providing services that people want. I am, as in my role as executive director, starting to think about vacation time for everyone and what can I do as a leader in the organization to make sure people have a chance to sort of rest and recuperate and move into this next phase of being more open. We learned during the pandemic that online programming works well for a lot of people. So we are going to maintain many of our online classes and add in-person opportunities sort of sprinkled throughout the semesters. So people might attend the traditional class sessions online during the day, during the evening, whenever those classes happen, but then be able to come in person to meet with a tutor or a volunteer, or even the instructor to get extra help and to sort of evaluate how's it going and how can we support you this semester. So that's the difference, is that now we have the opportunity to have these sort of small group in-person sessions to provide extra support. And we'll do that in our education center on Essex Ave in West Gloucester. We can also do that in the library. Wellspring has program space designated at the Sawyer Free Library on Dale Ave. So we're really trying to be as flexible as we possibly can be. We have the building set up now so that anyone can come. Inside, people will need to wear masks. But we're kind of back to business in terms of the ability for people to come in person, meet a staff person and get on with their plans.
Right. Well said. So,
Yeah.
well, first of all, we appreciate everything you and the staff at Wellspring have done throughout this time. I mean, it's phenomenal work. And if people want to learn more about Wellspring Connects and this activity we have coming up, this essentially a virtual open house, or more about Wellspring in general, how can they go about doing that?
Yep. So in terms of finding out more about Wellspring and how we operate and seeing behind the scenes for our programs, I would really recommend that people watch the virtual presentation at 12:15. And that link will be available on our website. You're going to post the direct web page. Right on that link will be the URL for the presentation itself. And then if someone would like to come physically in person, if people have any time available on June 3rd and they'd like to come by, they can also sign up for a time slot to physically visit Wellspring. And it's either or both. I can imagine that we know people who are interested in signing up for programs, but they're going to be at their mother-in-law's or whatever that day, can't come in person. So then the virtual event is for them. Likewise for someone, we have folks who've been donors and supporters of the organization for a long time. They can't come to Essex Ave that day on June 3rd, but they can watch the video.
Very nice. Well, I thank you for your time, Melissa. I know you have to run, but we here at Cape Ann today, we're also about to start doing in-person stuff and going out and about in the community and being live again. And we would love to do one of our shows at the Wellspring House someday.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I was at the office this week, and I mean, I'm sort of there periodically throughout the week. But it was the first time there were, I think, maybe 10 or 12 of us there. And it was the first time in over a year that, that many people were physically together in the same place at the same time. And it felt pretty profound. We can accomplish a lot online, but we're human beings and we are supposed to be together some of the time. So we would love to host you.
Very cool. Okay. Have a great weekend, Melissa. And thanks for spending some time with us, and keep up the good work over there.
Great. Thank you so much, Corey. Thanks for the opportunity.